Hey, you guys want, we deliver. Let's take a look where we're at with SonicFlare Studio A setup. So we're entering the grand staircase to the Titanic. Just kidding. Hopefully it won't sink. And, you know, first of all, don't be alarmed by the insane mess. It's been a little crazy, as you guys can imagine, but I'll give you guys a sort of quick intro tour to see what's going on, where we're at, how we're going to be continuing, what's going to be coming, etc., etc. Here you see the subsonic, infrasonic, room equalization gadget that purports to disperse waves. Just kidding. This is a dusty looking fan sitting in a red paint. Anyway, joking aside, so here it is. This is my orifice, so to speak, where I do all my work, editing, etc., etc. There's obviously going to be pictures hung, art, decoration, all that kind of stuff. And as we make our entrance, there's a rack sitting here. The bar cart, of course, very, very important. We have the grand entrance of the big Kuzma. This is the Kuzma XL Air. Good Lord. Can you imagine all this stuff? Most of this stuff has been packed up and boxed up for more than 2 years. Actually, 2 years on the dot. I tell you, absolutely crazy. I find it hard to believe that it took so long. But here is the Kuzma XL Air with the sapphire arm. Of course, the obligatory DS Audio E1 cartridge. You won't believe how good this little cartridge, the entry-level cartridge, which actually just got supplanted or superseded by the E001, I believe, a couple of weeks ago, how good it sounds with the Meitner DS-EQ1 down here that you can see. Just absolutely stunning. I think this was a $800 cartridge and just absolutely stunning. Now this turntable runs on a massive, super stiff air bearing that I will show you guys in another video when it comes to it. High pressure, super stiff bearing, big pump that's downstairs in the garage. There's the 12-inch Schick arm, which is likely going to be my arm for mono cartridges. Then we get into the next turntable, which is the amazing Bergman Galder signature model. So this has the upgraded stainless steel platter, stainless steel feet. This actually, what's going to be very interesting, and given that I have my beloved Tascam A to D converter and recorder down here, you guys are going to be able to hear just what differences a stiff air bearing versus a low pressure air bearing like on the Galder makes to the sound of a vinyl record. You'll be able to hear and compare, and I can't wait to get into all that. We've got, of course, the DS Audio Ionizer. That is a must-have. Gets rid of static build up, etc., etc. And down here, yes, we've got another DS-EQ1. There's the aforementioned Tascam A to D recorder. There is my trusted Einstein CD player, aptly named the last record player. It's a top loader. Then we've got, of course, my beloved Einstein preamp, which even though many preamps have come and gone through SonicFlare Studios, I haven't found one that has bested it long term. So I've had this thing for, gosh, 10, 12 years, 13 years maybe. My trusted ReVox H1 cassette deck, and of course, the front end of my digital setup, which is the Meitner MA3. Absolutely astounding DAC that I think retails for just over 10K or somewhere around 10 grand, maybe 12 grand. Absolutely fantastic. Really, really good quality sound, wide open, dynamic. You guys know me by now. All the stuff that I really care for and love in when it comes to music. Here is the entry-level Einstein phono stage called the, what is this called? The current pickup, I think. It's a current sensing phono stage. Then we get into the speakers. Ah, goodness gracious, what has he done? Where are the XVXs? Well, frankly, the XVXs had to give way to something much more manageable and smaller, and really that all had to do with us moving to Europe 2 years ago. And, you know, schlepping, setting up 750-pound speakers per side in an unknown territory. Are we going to be in an apartment? Are we going to be in a house, etc., etc.? Where's going to be the closest dealer that's going to help me with all that? I basically made the executive decision that, hey, until we have firm footing and until we know where we are, where we're going, where we're staying, I'm going to be downgrading, side grading, I should say, to something much more manageable that I can actually manage myself, which is, in this case, the Sasha V in this absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous blue orchid pearl color. As you can see, I haven't even had a chance to take the frisk off yet. Frankly, mostly because I haven't even set up the speakers properly yet. They're just kind of doodling around making music. In the background, you see the brand new addition to SonicFlare Studio A, which is John DeVore's masterpiece, the 096 Orangutan. And if you have watched previous videos of mine, you will know that I have been a strong advocate for owning multiple pairs of speakers, completely different kinds of speakers. In other words, this DeVore sounds nothing like this Wilson Audio Sasha V and vice versa, right? Super high efficiency, 96 dB, etc., etc. And so you don't drink the same bottle of wine every day. You know, hear me out on this. Get a second set of speakers that is completely a contrast to your other pairs of speakers that you're listening to. Then here we have the Einstein Circlotron hybrid dual mono amp that powers the system. This has been my trusted go-to stereo amplifier for a long time. That is now joined, ladies and gentlemen. I've been waiting for this. I want to say going on 3 years is when Ed first started telling me he's building a stereo version of his MTRS monoblock setup and the MTRX monoblock setup that he has. And so this is the stereo version of the MTRS, an absolutely incredible piece of engineering. Again, what really, really nailed it for me with EMMlabs is that the sound that I love, open, transparent, punchy, dynamic, just like all the Einstein gear, right? So, and frankly, the DS Audio, the DS-EQ1 that he has built, as well as the MA3. And so this definitely shares that sonic signature. And I can't wait to get this through its paces. It just arrived about a week ago, so super excited to start playing with it. And you know, this is going to be my solid state reference gear going forward. So anyway, had many. This is the one. This is the one that's on the desert island, so to speak. Then here is a what is this? Oh, this is the bag for the Nagra, which sits here. It's getting a suntan, baking in the sun, the great Nagra 4S. One of my tape machines, my beloved Nagra 4S. There's an interesting story behind this machine that I'll eventually get to you guys when the time comes. There's a lens, there's some kind of a cable here. There's my beloved USM rack setup. Oh, yes. Oh, if you haven't seen my Instagram post, John Williams, the legend. You know, if this guy plays his cards right, I think he could possibly become a very valued classical music-based film composer. But I'm not sure yet. So anyway, in the meantime, there's 20 CDs here. Must have. All of his hits are on there. And so, great stuff. There's the second set of 096s, which are absolutely fabulous, fabulous speakers. Here is the Frisk-covered Sasha V, the right channel. Oh, there's a Loke. I forgot about that. That's right. So one of the things that I'll actually drop a link below. The great Arian, Jansen, and I did a video on bass and subwoofers. And so the Loke here is essentially going to be extending the bass of the Sashas, but it's not going to be the primary, how do I explain this? It's going to extend the bass of the Sashas, but I will also set up the Arian Jansen design proximity bass controller that is actually going to create the bass in the room, or at least equalize it out, etc., etc. Watch the video. It's really interesting what Arian has developed, and I'm not going to get into it right here because it would break the scope of this video, which is going on 10 minutes and 59 seconds as we speak. Then, yes, here we have my Telefunken M15 machines. There's two of them because I'm silly enough to have two. And so this is an interesting one that I'll do a separate video on this. This one actually has a very, very interesting story behind it. This is the machine, and I'll leave it at that. This is the machine that was used by Ken Kreisel of M&K Sound, of course, to record for Duke. This was the machine that was used for the analog. As you guys know, it's a direct disc recording, but he of course made a safety and backup, and this is what was used. And so if you're listening to a CD, if you're listening to a tape, etc., this is what was used to create that master. Very, very cool machine. I got that from him directly. Incidentally, this machine was used one time only, and only to record for Duke. So there you have it. There's some camera gear sitting around here, some seats, some, what do you call it, ottomans. Ooh, I still have the stickers on there from the moving guys. Hilarious. There's another setup. Ooh, Kathy's growing orchids. So we've been growing orchids. Where's the other one? There it is. Forever and a half. We probably have about 30 that we are nursing at this point. It takes a lot of work. Trust me, it takes a lot of work, but these are such beautiful flowers. Anyway, sidetrack. There's the other Loke, and there's the back end of my desk again, and concept lamps, HRS rack, if I haven't mentioned that already, with M3X platforms, my trusted and true M3X platforms that I have a couple of, and yeah, that's about it. Messy room, messy hair. What can I say? Gosh, it's definitely been a journey getting this studio space built up. Way behind schedule, way behind everything, but it's done, and we're slowly making our paces and moving in. And really, what's next? So it's quite simple. I emailed Vicoustic the last measurements of the room, etc. So they're going to be looking at creating the correct set of parameters for the sound absorption panels that we are going to be installing. As you guys remember, if you watched the past couple of episodes, where I announced a partnership with Vicoustic for Studio A. So that's going to be rolling down the hill, so to speak. And I'm assuming that at some point in the next couple of weeks, month, plus or minus, I'm hoping that the panels are going to show up. We're going to get everything set up. The room's, sonics improved, etc. It's got a little too much echo right now. Granted, I haven't moved everything in yet as far as, bookcases, record cases, etc. Though frankly, the room's filling up so quickly that I don't even know where I'm going to put all that junk. But we'll find a spot for it. And what's next after that is going to be lots and lots and lots and lots of music listening, which I really am looking forward to. Of course, there's going to be the tweaks with the Wilsons, with the DeVores, with the Lokes, the Arian Jansen proximity bass controller that I'm going to have to futz with and get set up. But all in all, really happy. I think this is great. I think this is going to be a killer setup. I'm going to be obviously doing lots of content from up here and, connecting with you guys, inviting friends over, etc. If you're in the Northeast area and are watching this channel, which I don't understand why you wouldn't. By the way, I have to make this note here. Every time I look at the stats for these videos of mine, I notice that 68% of you are Schlingels, Schlingel in Viennese. What I mean by that is 68% of you are watching but are not subscribed. Like, WTF. Come on, dude. Smash that button. Subscribe. Just kidding. You don't have to smash it. If you feel the need to subscribe, it really does help the channel, etc., etc. Especially now where it seems like, is it me or is it Maybelline, where there isn't a day that goes by that my feed doesn't have some new YouTube channel on hi-fi audio and music. I mean, it's amazing. It's the Jerry Springer effect. Everybody wants to make a quick buck, and everybody is an expert suddenly. Everybody gained knowledge since the last job that they had, being a used car salesman, and they're now YouTube stars. Hey, good for them, I'd say. Good for them. Joking aside, I have some thoughts on that I will share at an opportune time. Probably actually in the next video that's going to drop, where I'm going to resurrect the theme of the sort of news of the month, bi-weekly news, something like that, news episode, kind of covering the latest and greatest of hi-fi and what's happening in music, etc. And maybe I'll drop a segment in on that, because it's frankly, it's almost absurd what's going on, especially in light of the fact of the Expono show and all the inundated videos that have popped up in my feed left and right. And it's just like, dude, like Jerry Springer, or what's going on here? Anyway, that said, thank you guys for tuning in. I always appreciate it. You guys are stars for sticking around so long during these 2 years of sort of absence of mine, while we thought we're going to be living in Europe and obviously didn't. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. As always, get yourself orchids, learn how to nurse them and nurture them. And we'll see you guys in another episode very, very soon. Ciao.